What's up, guys, and welcome to another SmackDown review. I think we should start having a little counter in the corner up here about how many times I express my disappointment about the booking of LA Knight, because it feels like I talk about that every Raw and SmackDown review, and that's not changing today. But first, that's the main event. First, we got to go through the entire show. And we start with Drew McIntyre getting out of his truck. You know, he's a Ram guy, apparently. And Aldis asks him if he knows what being suspended means. And Drew's like, I've served my time. And Aldis is like, you've actually served no time at all. What are you talking about? So Drew's like, fine, I'll leave. But he's not alone in his car. There's a little Cody Rhodes in there. Which I love this shot so much of Cody just peeking behind Drew. I think it's so funny to me. But Cody and Drew, they kind of attack. Cody just fully attacks Drew. They pull him out of Drew's truck, and Drew drives away. And Cody immediately storms out to the ring. Angry Cody is the best Cody, in my opinion, and he tells Aldis to unsuspend Drew so he can squash the cockroach that is Drew McIntyre. He says other things. He says that, like, Drew broke the unwritten rule of wrestling by attacking him where, like, his family sleeps and, like, where his kids play. So it's getting very personal here. So it's not going to be at Saturday night's main event, and we'll talk about why in a few minutes, but is this going to be the match at the Royal Rumble? I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe it's going to be another stipulation match for Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. You know, last year, or, well, still this year with the ladder match with KO. So maybe we're going to get something like that. That's kind of my takeaway from this. I think Cody Drew is going to happen in about a month at the Royal Rumble. And there's going to be some sort of stipulation. I'm going to go with a Saudi Arabia street fight for what the stipulation's going to be, because everybody would love that. But let's go to the Ilya Dragunov Open Challenge, but it's not an open challenge because we're going to announce the opponent. Just don't announce the opponent. It's a little critique. It just annoys me a little bit. You know, it's an open challenge, and then Mello's like backstage, and he goes, "No, Ciampa, better luck next week, jackass." You know, I'm going to answer it. And they, like, already have a graphic and everything, so it's like, whatever. The crowd was super behind Mello, and this was a really fun match. And I'm perfectly okay with Ilya's reign continuing, but we're getting to that point in the Open Challenge where, you know, I want to see a different guy with that belt. Just because he's had so many defenses, and I mean, this is Carmelo Hayes' fourth time trying to answer one of Sammy's or Ilya's Open Challenge. So, you know, we kind of got to get some new guys in here, which we will next week, but we'll talk about that in a second. Mello has the momentum, and he's actually about to go for nothing but net, but Ciampa pulls him off the ropes. Ilya hits an H-bomb and he pins Carmelo Hayes. It's not a bad loss for Carmelo Hayes at all because of the Ciampa involvement. And then later in the night, Fraxium's like, come on, man. Like Fraxium's telling Nick Aldis, like, come on. Like, Ciampa did it again. Like, we want Ciampa. And Ilya walks up and says, no, I get Ciampa next week for the U.S. title, and you guys can have whatever's left. Then we get a little confrontation with Ilya and MFT. MFT and Tama Tonga is standing front, but then Solo kind of pushes him away. So maybe it's going to be Solo stepping up. I don't know. It's interesting. Something else that's fairly interesting is the Terror Twins are back together. And when Damian Priest was like, oh, you brought family into it and all this, I thought that this was a Lola Vice call-up for a second, but Rhea Ripley makes way more sense, especially because of last week. They were like, oh, I have a preposition for you, whatever. So it'll be Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Zelina and Aleister Black next week on SmackDown. SmackDown next week's looking really good, and I'm excited for it. Now we go to Alexa Bliss versus Kairi Sane, you know, because of that big brawl on Monday. Now they're going to fight on Friday. There was a lot of Asuka and Flair drama throughout this match. I mean, I understand it's a tag division, but, you know, I was looking forward to the singles match, and it was very funny seeing Kairi Sane make fun of Alexa's height, being like, I'm taller than you. And it was a pretty solid match. The match really turns around when Flair takes out Asuka, and then Kairi goes from the top rope. She's going for the insane elbow, but Alexa Bliss catches her, hits a Sister Abigail DDT. 1, 2, 3. Alexa pins one half of the tag team champions. And, I mean, you would think that this would make Alexa and Charlotte Flair the number one contender, except Nia, Jax, and Lash Legend destroy Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And then Asuka, she gets a little offense in, but then gets laid out. And then Nia and Lash holding up those tag titles. And now you have the sixth team for the six team TLC match I want. I don't know when you do it. Once again, I have no clue when you do it, but I want it. So I'm going to keep saying it till it happens, and it probably won't. But let's go backstage. This is why I'm talking about that Cody and Drew won't be on Saturday night's main event, because Nick Aldis says, well, gentlemen, I invited you guys here, but it's not going to come from me. It's going to come from Cody Rhodes. And Cody says, hey, I'm excited for your guys' match tomorrow at NXT Deadline, and I just want to let you guys know that whoever wins is going to face me at Saturday night's main event. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love this. I love everything about this. We got 3 matches announced for Saturday night's main event now. We'll get to the other 2 in a minute. But Cody Rhodes will either face Obafemi or Ricky Saints. Now, I do think it's going to be Ricky Saints just because of the history between Ricky Saints and Cody Rhodes. So, but I mean, if they have Obafemi win the NXT title and then they have him pin Cody Rhodes, see, I just don't think that they're going to have Obafemi win, because then how do you have, like, you know, you can't really pin Cody Rhodes, but, like, Oba shouldn't lose. So I think you just have him lose in a cheap way to Ricky Saints, and then you don't have to worry about it. But that's tomorrow. That's NXT Deadline. We're not talking about NXT. Let's go to Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire now. Now, Alba Fire actually got the most offense in out of any of Jade's opponents since she's became WWE Women's Champion. You know, pretty impressive. But it all turns around when Kiana taps Chelsea on the shoulder, and Chelsea, like, sees Julia and gets scared. They get chased up the ramp, and Alba's like, oh no, what do I do now? Jade Cargill hits a nasty spine buster, hits a pump kick, hits a jaded 1, 2, 3. I mean, Jade Cargill hit three things that look like finishers on Alba Fire, and just, yep, she wins. But we go backstage a little later, and we see the same thing with B-Fab and Michin. Like, B-Fab not saying anything, but Jade thinks that she said something, and then it's Michin stepping up. And Jade told her to go find Nick Aldis, and then actually switched up right away and said, no, I'll go find him for you. So, I don't know. I didn't see if it got made official yet or not, but maybe we're going to get Michin versus Jade Cargill next week. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, alrighty. Monday Night Raw had their amazing promo. Now it's time for Solo Sikoa's great promo. I hate the crowd. The crowd is so frustrating with these stupid what chants. I hate it. Solo's cutting a really good promo, and these guys are, what? 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 It's so annoying. Just let the guy talk. It's so frustrating. But he says some really cool things. He says the titles belong to his family. He says that everything that's his, talking about Bray, which got boos from the crowd, but it's not like, he said everything that's his and is now yours is gonna be mine. I don't think that I saw some people saying that this was disrespectful. It's not. I don't get where it's just not. He's just talking about, because, I mean, Bray had this whole idea, and then Howdy got it, and then Solo's going to take it. Like, that's all he's saying. It's nothing, like, disrespectful. He said that he's going to take everything from Howdy, and he's going to show him why he doesn't deserve the name Wyatt. And he said that he's going to do it because he can, just because he can, and all he has to do is just believe. Great promo from Solo. I mean, we saw Braun Breaker and Solo Sikoa cut 2 promos that were very good on Monday and Friday. And my question is, Where has this been since they got called up to the main roster? I mean, if they can do this, if Solo can wrestle like this and talk like this, why has he not been doing it? If Braun Breaker can talk like that and wrestle like how he does, why has he not been doing it? I don't understand why they're like hiding all of their like good talents, especially when everybody's saying that the main event pool is like so shallow and like, oh, they're all old. You have Braun Breaker and Solo Sikoa that could be right there. I mean, because both of these guys looked like main eventers while they're cutting a promo. So, anyway, we'll get back to the segment now. Just a little side rant. But the Wyatts are, of course, here. They're not going to take that disrespect. And they brawl. We get a fun Tala Tonga and Eric Rowan showdown. Eric Rowan ends up on top, and the Wyatts stand tall. And at this point, I kind of think that you're going to have something in the Rumble with Howdy and Solo. Maybe they eliminate each other or something, or maybe they're like factions eliminate like the leaders or something. But I definitely do think that this is going to be a WrestleMania direction. I don't really think that it's going to happen at Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. And I hope it's not just on a SmackDown, because this feud has actually been built pretty well. But let's go backstage, and it's our second Saturday night's main event match announced, and it will be Bayley versus Sol Ruca. Now, it's not the match that I wanted for Sol Ruca. You know, I wanted a Tiffany Stratton or an Io Sky or a Rhea Ripley. But Bayley is a very good wrestler, and I'm very excited for this match. And now I think you can actually have an NXT person win. So I think Sol Ruca is going to win this match. Obviously, we'll do predictions when we get a little bit closer, even though we're only a week away. That's pretty crazy. But it'll be a fun match. And now, get ready for a rant, guys. Oh, man. So this was such a good match. There were so many close falls with the two splashes, the powerbomb, the AA, and the BFT that LA Knight hit. LA Knight hit the BFT and the AA, and then, of course, the splash and the powerbomb go to Gunther. There was also a Megastar elbow that Gunther kicked out of, and man, they were getting me good with LA Knight. And then Gunther just puts him in a sleeper hold, but then LA Knight fights out. He fights out, he goes to pick up Gunther. Gunther elbows him back down to the mat, puts in whatever this move is. I don't know what it is. It's like an STFU like reverse like crossface type thing. I have no clue. LA Knight, he's fighting for so long. He's fighting, he's reaching out, and he just taps. He ends up tapping. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of seeing LA Knight lose. It's so frustrating. I'm not upset about Gunther winning at all. I expected Gunther to win. I'm okay with Gunther winning. I just want LA Knight to win something. But his time will come. LA Knight's I'm joking. I don't have faith in LA Knight anymore. Like I took down the LA Knight shirts. That's how much little faith I have in LA Knight now, just because he keeps losing. But also, losing to Gunther is nothing to be like LA Knight's buried. But that's probably what I'm going to title this video. Anyway, Gunther, he looks in the camera and he says, "John, I hope you're watching, because that's your fate. I'm going to make you give up and you will tap out." And then the show goes off the air. But John Cena's final match is now official. It will be against Le Ring General Gunther. But that was Friday Night SmackDown. We got some fun things for Saturday night's main event. We got some fun things maybe leading to Mania. We have more tag teams entering the women's division. And we have LA Knight once again losing. But for right now, that's it.